Hi, I'm Kevin George, and I'm the design manager for the North American version of the Ford Fiesta. I want to talk to you a little bit about what we did differently for North America and just say simply that we only did what we had to do. We knew we had something great and we want to deliver that greatness for North American customers. Overall, Fiesta remains with the kinetic design inspiration, kinetic being the designer's interpretation of energy and motion, and that was really the assignment the designers gave themselves, to create the sculpture of energy and motion. And I think the Fiesta does that really well. For North America, what we had to do was preserve that sculpture and still meet all the North American federal safety regulations. The biggest impact that had on the Fiesta was the changes to the front and rear ends of the car on the exterior. We have a larger beam requirement in North America, and by beam I mean the front steel structure, and then we have to skin that beam with the fascia that still says kinetic design. So we try and do that as subtly and as deftly as we can and not change what's good but remain with kinetic. And I think it's been fairly successful. We have two different versions of the front end in that the upper grille insert changes on the 5-door to a more European-inspired look. The sedan has the 3-bar grille that North American customers have told us they like with products like Fusion and Taurus. The other change is when you add the larger front bumper beam, you have to manage the air in a new way. The air flowing into the car is important for two reasons. One, you've got to cool the HVAC system and provide all the air for that. And you have to cool the power pack, which is the engine. So the different bumper beam for North America required a different front graphic for the lower grille. Again, trying to keep with the kinetic design from Europe. For North America, we've carried over all of the sheet metal and particularly want to talk about the front hood and the pedestrian impact. Pedestrian impact requirements in Europe allow for some compression of the hood structure or the hood surfaces before you contact any structure, and that helps people if they get struck by the car. When they impact the hood moves down and out of the way. We've preserved all that for North America, even though we're not required to. But again, it's in keeping with our idea of preserving what's great about Fiesta and only changing what we had to. In North America, we also made changes to the front headlamps to meet our federal requirements for road coverage and lighting, and we tried to do that in subtle ways. One of the easiest ways to do that is just go to a dual headlamp system, and by that I mean you just have one parabolic in each headlamp, so you have sort of one eye on each side. We've preserved the European look of having the quad lamp, so there's a low beam and a high beam are separate for North America. To give it increased road lighting, we did have to change the lens a little bit and make it wider, but we were able to do that while preserving the periphery. So you get a little bit more performance out of these lamps, but it doesn't really affect the look, and in fact I think it's enhanced. For the park lamps that you see on the lower outboard of the fascia, we actually introduced an LED feature that we share with Taurus, where we have an LED light strip that provides park lamp capability, and it's unique to the B-car segment. LED lights is something that you'd have to spend tens of thousands more to get from other manufacturers. The engine in the Fiesta is a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder, and what we have is one of the carryover engines from Europe brought to the United States. In Europe they have more engine choices, but they're all smaller. We brought the biggest engine, and what we're offering is what we think will be best-in-class acceleration. Fiesta is also going to lead its segment in fuel economy with a 40 miles per gallon rating. That's what we expect for highway on either the 4-door or the 5-door. Here in Los Angeles, we're also featuring 4 aftermarket cars where we're demonstrating that there are manufacturers that are going to be supplying product that you can put and bolt onto your Fiesta from the get-go, from job one. The car you see here is done by 3D Carbon in partnership with FS Works, and the content that they've created has to do with suspension tuning and wheels. There's also an aero kit. 3D Carbon makes some of the best body kits in the business, and they've made one for Fiesta. We're quite happy to be working with them. We also have other cars here from Ford Racing, Ford Vehicle Personalization, and H&R Springs. They're all showcasing different things that you can buy. They all have different points of view, but they all make great looking products.